I'd like to show you guys how to do IRR and NPV from Chapter 10 in Excel. So I've just typed in my own example here. So this is our data right here in the gray area. My rate is 10%, and then here you see our various payments. In year one we're going to pay 65, and then here are the inflows we're going to have in the other 4 years. So I like to type in these years so I know and I can keep track of those payments more easily. So the IRR is very, very easy. Once I have this in here, all I have to do, let me get rid of this, all I have to do is type the equal sign, and I click on this little FX right here. I'm going to look for the IRR, or internal rate of return. I find that right here. Click OK. Now all I have to do is to highlight these 5 cells, press enter, and my rate shows up here. Okay, if you forget about this, all you have to do is type in equals IRR, and then in parentheses just highlight your rate and then all the cash flows beneath it. So 18.86. Very, very easy to do. Now as far as the NPV, net present value, there's 2 different ways to accomplish this. First, what I'm going to do is figure out the present value of each of these. So my present value of 65,000 today is just that amount. So I just could type in $65,000 right here, and that's an outflow. Now in year one, I can use a present value function. Equals, and then a negative sign, PV for present value, and then a parenthesis. Now B2 is the interest rate. So you could either type in B2 or you could just type in 0.10, comma. The 1 stands for how many years out is this. So this one is 1 year out. The 0 we just fill in because that stands for payment, but we don't have any payments here, so I'm just going to fill in a 0 for that. And after the last comma, the B4 is the cash flow item, or you could just type in $20,000. So equals a negative present value, and then the rate, how many years out we are, a 0, and then a B4 for the payment. And I do that for every other year. The only thing that would change, my rate stays the same, 10%, but now this is 2 years out, and then the B5 that I have here just stands for the 28,000. So if you want to type in numbers, you could. Down here, it's the 3rd year out. Down here, it's the 4th year out. So then your net present value is just going to be the sum of these cells right here, or 12,863. Okay, so we just sum these up. Now with all that being said, that's one way to do it. Here's another way that I like that's a little bit easier that you may want to use. And that is you can use the net present value function. So if you type in equals NPV and then a parenthesis. Now in my particular formula here, the first thing you have to refer to is your rate of return. So I have B2, or you could just type in 10% or 0.10. Then after the comma, we're going to find the present value of just our benefits. So I have this broken out by PVB, which is present value of benefits. So then I highlight B4 to B, actually I goofed up here, this should be B4 to B7. Okay, so it's the present value of just these cash inflows right here. That's the present value of those. The present value of the costs is always just the cash outflow at 0.0 or year 0. So I just type in a negative 65,000, or if you want to refer to cell B3, and then I just add these 2 cells up, and I get the same answer as I got here. The net present value, in my opinion, isn't necessarily easier in Excel. You can use it if you want. I choose to use my calculator. The internal rate of return is a lot easier in Excel. I would encourage you guys to use Excel to do that. you have questions on this, please contact me.